Today, I'm going to show you 3 link building strategies to avoid that could actually tank your SEO if you're not careful. This is based on real results. I'll show you the case studies and the experiments. We spent thousands of dollars building terrible links across hundreds of sites just to show you what doesn't work. And I'll share everything, all the video notes, all the examples, the links, etc. to avoid so that you don't have a DR76 website getting zero traffic, my friends, because that's not what you want. Let's get into it. So the first link building method that I would recommend avoiding is this one right here, which is kind of like using these Web 2.0. So you can see, for example, what we did in this experiment is we actually bought a bunch of backlinks off Fiverr.com just to prove that they weren't very good. Now, typically on Fiverr.com, what you can do is you can go into Fiverr.com, you can type in something like domain rating, and then you can see that a lot of people here will pump up your domain rating for you. And a lot of people think that if you've got a high domain rating, that you're going to rank. There are plenty of DR80, DR70 websites, etc. out there that actually don't get any traffic at all. And so it's just a vanity metric that people use to increase because they think, oh, that's going to increase my rankings. But the problem is a lot of these backlinks are very low quality. And as an example of that, let me pull this one up right here. So just so that you understand here, you've got the link from, the link to, and the keyword that was linked with, right? And so when you buy these sort of Fiverr gigs, you can get a lot of backlinks, you can automate it, but the links themselves are terrible. So as an example of that, you can see this page right here, which is a Web 2.0 built on sites.google.com. It links from the first paragraph right here to the website. But as you can see, if you check through this particular page, it's not linked to anything. It doesn't provide any value. No one's ever going to read it. Anyone can build that link. And the other problem is, right, if anyone can build that link, let's say, for example, anyone can go onto sites.google.com or penzu.com and post these sort of links. If anyone can build them, there's no scarcity. If there's no scarcity, there's no value to that backlink. And so it's a total waste of time. And so if you go through a lot of these links, let's just plug them into a batch analysis and we can check how much traffic these pages actually get. What we can do is if we go to batch analysis over here, we can plug in all the URLs from the pages that we built links from. We'll analyze, and again, this is why you want to avoid it, is if we put these into a batch analysis here, you can see that a lot of them, number one, are not even indexed, which means they're not going to pass any power because Google can't crawl the link itself. And then additionally, none of these pages get any traffic or keywords, right? And so if you've got a bunch of backlinks from pages not connected to anything, not that anyone will read, if they don't have any exclusivity and anyone can build them, let's say, for example, someone's in like casino niche or they're in some dodgy grey hat niche and they can build them, then it has no value to your website as well. And so this is one of the other things you want to avoid getting backlinks from. Next up, let's look at the next method to avoid, which is how to get free do follow backlinks free in 30 seconds. And this takes literally a few seconds to do. I'll show you an example. So the process to avoid to get to free backlinks in seconds is you can sign up for an account with, say, imdb.com. And once you're logged in, you can go to your profile on the top right, click account settings and edit profile. Here's an example of the link. And you can see right here, this link from the profile links to my website, free do follow backlink. If we actually look at the source code right here, you can see it's not marked as no follow, which means that it is a do follow backlink. But it's a terrible one at that. As you can see, like no one's going to read this profile. Again, it's not editorially added. It's not a quality backlink. And so it's a link building method to avoid. So why are these backlinks so bad? The thing is, right, the best backlinks, and I'll show you some examples in here, the best backlinks are editorially added, which means that the website owner goes into the website and adds a backlink. As an example of that, right, if we check out, for example, a SaaS tool like hunter.com, they linked to our website via the anchor text of our brand name, right, Goldie Agency. And so these sort of backlinks, the website owner has to go in, they're exclusive, they're not available to everyone, they're very hard to build, and they require some sort of relationship with the website owner, right? There's an editorial process for quality control in place when you get backlinks from websites like these. And so that's the type of backlink you want. AKA, if anyone can get a backlink on there automatically, the value of a backlink isn't high. And just to clarify this, right, the difference between white hat links and black hat links is that white hat links are basically built because your content is worth sharing, right? As an example of that, Hunter wanted to share our case study. They link back to us as a credit. And they basically create a better experience for the users on the web. So for example, if people are reading this particular page, then they would click from here to our site to find out more about us. Helps the user. Good example of that is link inserts. Again, the link is inserted naturally within the content of the page. Black hat backlinks, aka backlinks that you want to avoid, are basically links you build because you want to manipulate Google's algorithm. So, for example, if you look at that IMDb link we got earlier, these sort of terrible links have only been built to manipulate Google's algorithm or to showcase how bad the link is, like I'm doing in this example. And so the IMDb link is purely for manipulating the algorithm. And basically, you're trying to trick the system to rank your content higher, which is the wrong way to do things. And the biggest problem with this is that these types are basically risky and worthless. And best case scenario, Google just ignores the link. Worst case scenario, Google penalizes the link. That's the difference. Right? So most of the time with these sort of links that are not valuable at all, Google's just going to ignore them. And it's not going to impact your website's rankings at all. But worst case scenario, you get a manual action penalty, your website gets de-indexed, etc. And that can happen. It happens all the time. So just to clarify, these are the types of backlinks you want to build because they're naturally within the content of the page. The final method that I wouldn't recommend personally, right? I just didn't like this method. Some people might get success with it. I can only show you what my experience is, right? And so I get loads of questions about PR services for link building. So I thought, let's figure it out and test it. And so I paid $500 for a press release distribution service just to test it out. Here's an example of what the press release looks like. And so, it's just announcing that I won some award. It's got a picture of me. It's got information about me, etc. And I'll show you what the pages actually look like from the test. Now, if you look at this press release, for example, you can see that it's kind of like your typical press release on a newswire or something like that. It talks about us, who we are, has a date on it, has a little picture of us, etc. Right? Even includes a little video embed there. And then that same content, when you're doing press releases, is sent across like 500 websites in this particular example. The problem is that none of these pages have any traffic and don't get any keywords, and most of them didn't index on Google. So as an example of that, if we go back to this post where we did a press release, if we search that on Google, you can see that it's not indexed. If it's not indexed by Google, it's definitely not going to help your SEO, mate. I'll tell you that for free. And also when you look at these types of sites, right, it feels like a PBN almost. It's that generic layout, the theme of it, the way the content is laid out, the weird information, the way that your social media links are not even linked. Now, another problem with these sort of sites is that if you can pay the money to get featured, typically anyone can pay the money to get featured. As an example of that, right? If we type in Viagra or casino into a website like this, typically you can see a bunch of like Viagra themed gray niche content that you wouldn't want to be associated with your brand and your website most of the time, right? And so the quality of those sites and the content they produce is pretty bad for SEO purposes. Obviously, it's not indexed and it's not ranking for any keywords, and you're on the same site as a bunch of Viagra and casino sites. Now, if you want to see all the links that we did from this experiment, I've actually included a link to that inside the video notes. So you can see, for example, if we plug in vmreporter.com into Ahrefs like so, you can see this example website, it doesn't get any traffic. It's ranking for like 2 keywords. It's a DR34 website, right? Super weird. 71,000 backlinks. Just seems really strange. Now, I will say at this point, the service provider, and I won't mention any names, did a great job in terms of the actual service, but just for SEO purposes, it's a website that's getting no traffic, no domain traffic, not ranking for any keywords, and producing loads of gray hat content good for your website and your backlink profile? Absolutely not, right? And so this is another example of a website you would avoid when it comes to link building. Again, let's take another random example right here. We'll plug that into Google and you can see the page itself doesn't index. And even though 36 website, even though it's got nearly 70,000 backlinks, it's only ranking for 2 keywords. And so would you want a backlink from a website like that in terms of new wire and press releases? Is it good for signals? Not if it's not ranking for any traffic. What we can actually do is plug all of these press releases into a batch analysis like so, and we'll just see what's ranking, how's it performing, etc. So if we sort these by DR, you can see that we did get some press releases from like DR79 websites. So here's an example, right? We've got 76 website on the list of our press releases from this particular site, and it's got 94,000 backlinks, its website. But again, it doesn't rank for any keywords. And that's what you really want to figure out here is like, if you learn anything from this video, DR is just a vanity metric. It can be useful for figuring out the overall authority of a site, but it doesn't mean that website is going to rank, as you can see right here. So never think like, oh, if I reach DR70 or I reach DC, etc., I'm going to rank on Google. That's not always the case. And so just to recap, the PR newswire method, it has a lot of low quality backlinks. Most of them are not indexed. Most of them have zero traffic. Most of them don't rank. Now, if you do want high quality PR, I've actually got a video link on it right here, which is a 45-minute training on how to get high quality backlinks. So for example, like this backlink I got from Forbes.com, DR94 website. Obviously, Forbes gets millions of traffic, and I did that using PR, and I break it down in that video I just showed you. Now, I do think with the PR newswire method, the benefit could be off-page signals, but you'd probably get the 80-20 of that just by having a good social media presence. For example, if like your brand name on Google is clearly demonstrating a lot of presence across multiple social media platforms, like for example, LinkedIn here, YouTube, my website, and then you've got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Like those sort of off-page signals are probably a lot more powerful for your brand than using, for example, like PR newswire sites that are de-indexed and high domain, but actually not getting any traffic. Some of the best places to build good off-page signals would be, for example, like LinkedIn, YouTube, your website, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere where you're active and you can create a lot of content. As you can see, like even my YouTube videos feed directly into Google, like so, as well as Udemy, Upwork, etc. So thanks so much for watching. That is 3 link building strategies to avoid. Worst case scenario, your website gets a manual action penalty or de-index. Best case scenario, you've just wasted your time and it's not going to help your rankings and Google ignores it. Either way, no. If you want to learn how to build high quality backlinks, just check out my free SEO course. Links in the comments and description. Go to the free course, log into the free course, go to the backlinks section. There's 15 different tutorials on how to build backlinks directly inside there, along with SOPs and the step-by-step processes. And I've also shown you links that we got, for example, from Forbes.com and Hunter.io. Those are the types of links you want to get. And if you just want to get everything that I've talked about, personalize your website so that you can get more leads, traffic, and sales from SEO, feel free to book in a free SEO strategy session. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits this month and generate thousands of dollars in sales. Bear in mind, when it comes to AI content, like the way to differentiate your content from where everyone else is to build quality links to your site, because anyone can create content now, but everyone still struggles with link building. And so if you want to get a free SEO domination plan, maybe you want a custom tailored link building strategy for your website, you want to discover the secrets of link building, and you want to get your questions answered, feel free to book in a free SEO strategy session. Links in the comments and description. All the video notes from today, I will include inside my free SEO course. If you go down to the SEO link building section, as you can see right here, I'll add a new tutorial called Strategies to Avoid. That's published now. And the video links from today will be in the notes right there, so you can check them all out. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.